Well, good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Jody.
Yes, Susan Kremski. And I have this image of you walking Siena Heights Drive.
Oh,
You and Nilda sometimes.
Right. Yep.
Anyone else?
Sometimes Jan Perry, but Nilda and I have been walking for years as partners at our lunch break, so
And
it's
you're
great.
working opposite buildings, different buildings. Your office is, would you share with the listening audience?
Well, I have two offices because I'm over the Maria Kitchen and the Madden, so I have an office in both buildings. And
You're the director of food services
Correct.
for our campus.
correct.
And like Nilda, you probably have 4 pages to describe the work you do.
Well, it's director of food service. I'm over all food service on campus. Maria building, Madden building. Of course, I work closely with the Weber administration because we do food service for Weber as well.
And there are many guests.
Yes,
Yes.
all their guests.
So you really have to be in close communication.
Right.
with
I
them.
meet with Weber monthly, someone from Weber monthly, so that we can keep on track of the guests, the different guests they have and their different needs and menus, any catering. So that works out really well.
And you've been here how long, Susan?
Well, I've been with the sisters for 20 years, but I actually started with Morrison Custom Management, which is a food service management company. And I was working in the Detroit area. And I had been here a couple times to help out. And long story short, I got transferred here and then worked with Morrison's for the Adrian Dominican Sisters, the contract, and then the sisters asked if I would work for them directly, which was wonderful.
What a gift.
I love that that happened. That was a great move for me, and I hope for the sisters. So we no longer have a contract company.
Yes.
We're self-operated. So
Had you been living in the Adrian area?
I lived in Ann Arbor, but my husband was working in Adrian, so I had told my supervisor at any point if there was an opportunity to transfer to another location in the Adrian area, I would love that. So it came about.
Oh,
So I was very
magic,
fortunate.
yes. Well, we both benefited from that,
Well, thank you.
Susan. Yes, 20 years is a long time.
Right.
You could write the history of
Just about.
of our government and
I've been here.
and their social events throughout the
Yeah.
years.
Right.
Like even when the bishop comes to a bishop comes to visit us, you have special
Yes,
meals, don't you?
we've done many different things over the years, and of course I've been responsible for several chapters, the food service end of it, and that's exciting.
Major
And,
too.
Yeah.
hmm
So.
And providing snacks for all.
Right.
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 Yes.
Yeah. So
And the last one was quite amazing, wasn't it?
just almost a year ago. So. Right.
Do you pick up the joy and the excitement?
Oh,
from-
yeah. Yeah, the chapters are really exciting. I enjoy planning them. It's challenging. We need more staff, and but that's what I like about my job, that it doesn't stay the same every day. There's always different events to plan for and get ready for, and I work with so many different people. That's what I like the best.
I often wondered if you ever needed a scooter because you are
Oh,
constantly
wow.
on the run.
Fortunately, I like to get up and move, so
Yeah.
I like the fast pace of it. I like running around all the buildings. So,
Are there any big events coming up that at Weber or that?
let me think. We have, we've got some bigger groups at Weber coming up in February and March. I know there's I'm not sure if I'm going to get the title right, the National Sisters Week. That's in March that we'll be planning food service for. Of course, we're already starting to plan for Jubilee, Congregation Jubilee. So,
Those are always exciting.
right.
And I know in the past you've not only served in Madden and Maria, but also in Regina, and
Right.
maybe 2 rooms even in Regina, and
Right.
sometimes in Weber, given the number.
Right.
You've
I
done
mean,
that.
we're upwards to, 400 and then we're serving the sisters at the DLC bag lunches. So, we're making 200 bag lunches and then serving in all these areas. So,
How many co-workers work in the food
40.
service?
We have about 40, including myself.
And isn't it wonderful when they stay on and know that?
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of long-term
Yeah.
coworkers.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
that's great.
Did you see Rowena's interview?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I want to
it's-
see that.
It's quite dear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
She's been here 30-some years.
Right,
too.
right.
Yes. And now you have a coworker, 2 coworkers that work closely with you.
Yes, 2 supervisors, Chef Maureen and Terry Booth.
Terry's
So,
a dietitian, is she?
she's a diet technician and she does the clinical nutrition work. And of course, Maureen is a chef and she does work more closely with ordering menus, mentoring with the cooks. So they both kind of have their expertise. So-
What dramatic changes, or maybe I should say, not dramatic changes, but changes in the campus wheel, if you will, how things are operating, that you've noticed through the years, the last 20 years?
Well, we've certainly grown in food service and in other service areas as well. The south side was built, I was here for that.
For the what?
2 South and 3 South when the south end of the building was built. And of course, that really increased the numbers of sisters we were feeding.
Because you feed them right there on the floors. Yes.
And of course, about 4 years ago, I think it was, is when the Regina kitchenette was built, and I was responsible for working with the builders and architects, and that was very exciting. I really enjoyed that project. And started the waitress-style dining room there, 48-seat capacity. So that was a big project, and it's been very successful. I also changed from the type of meal service on the floors from tray delivery system to a bulk on-site delivery.
Like in the solariums.
Right.
Yes.
And that's been very successful. So
That has increased through the
yes,
years,
it
hasn't
has.
it?
We
The
are
num-
serving more people on the floors as opposed to the numbers we used to have in the main dining room. There's been a shift the last few years, and so we're looking at that right now.
Well, in some of the solariums, the space is limited.
Yes, it is.
For the-
That's a challenge.
Yes, a big challenge.
So I think we need to look at that
Yes.
and what the
What
trend
changes
is. Yeah.
that can be made. Yes, yes. Who is your immediate supervisor?
Jennifer Hunter. At,
And do you meet with her on a regular
oh, yes,
basis?
we meet monthly and then just whenever we need to. She's very accessible and very supportive of our department, so she's been great to work with.
What would you call a crisis in your daily life as a...
Well, it can be lack of staff and maybe an equipment breakdown. Equipment breakdown is big if you're right in the middle of crunch time, and it could be both lack of staff and equipment breaking down, or maybe a delivery is late or the delivery doesn't happen. Those types of things.
I can't imagine who makes out the menus and how you do the ordering. That must be a major part of your position, or does Maureen?
Well, we share the work. Maureen will do the ordering at the Dominican Life Center, and I do the ordering at Madden. Dominican Life Center is more complex. We've got so many pieces to it. with the menu system, and then of course we stock all the kitchenettes, and we do nourishments.
Nourishments like snacks or
Yes, and maybe we have high protein, high calorie shakes that some of the sisters need to receive, and we make about 100 nourishments a day.
wow.
So we're making those and delivering those, and so that's part of the ordering and keeping track of inventory.
Just the system for that, knowing when to deliver and the time
Right.
to deliver, that's pretty amazing. It doesn't keep you up at night, though, does it?
Occasionally, to be honest.
And tell me about your family.
Well, I have my husband, Mark. We've been married for 30 years, and I have a son, Andrew, and his wife, Jessica, and they have 2 children, a baby, Caden, and then Maxine is 2.5. So,
do they live nearby?
Yes, they do. They're 10 minutes away, and the grandchildren are the light of my life, if you can't tell.
Yes.
So that's been a blessing. And then my younger son, Ryan, is 24. So we have a very nice family. We're very close. We see each other a lot. So.
And you live right here in Adrian?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, on days like this.
Are you ever called on an emergency?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Like what would be an example?
An emergency, it could be equipment, something's wrong with the equipment, staffing problems.
Someone got sick.
I got called last night about something.
No.
That was at about maybe 7 o'clock. Those type of things, maybe, like when we had the neurovirus, I even hate to bring that up.
Yes.
But that was both a crisis and something I got a lot of calls for. I had to come in and help. We had to shift gears,
Definitely.
come up with a system of serving. I had to run out to Myers, purchase paper products. Those, it comes up, and that's just part of the job.
Strange time, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
There's a bug going around right
There
now.
is. That's why I even hated to bring it up, because we've had some illness, and we have been doing some things differently the past few days to accommodate the sisters and their needs. So these things come up, and so you get called and you answer the question, or you come in, and that's just part of it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Bottom line, what do you love about coming to work here on campus?
I enjoy my peers, the people I work with. I enjoy all the sisters, and I think the mutuality of ministry we have here is very special. And I've been here so long, I don't want to take that for granted, because I know you don't get that in other places you work. And I think that's...
We have some fine men and women, don't we, that are co-workers.
Yes, we do.
And in leadership positions like yourself.
Right. We have a good department directors and management team. I enjoy working with them and my co-workers.
Bet you have to call on Joel every once in a while.
Yes.
Our
I have to be
director.
good to him, because he does a lot for me, and the people in his department, they're helping us all the time.
Yes. I remember one big change, Susan, is when I was working at Weber, the noon meal was the big meal.
Oh.
And the men were always in line.
Uh-huh.
The men from the maintenance.
Maintenance, okay.
Yes. But when did that change?
I don't think that was in my time, to tell you the truth. I think Madden has always had the lunch at noon and the heavier dinner at night when I've been here, but I'm sure that was a big change.
Have you ever heard the name?
Yes.
Lee?
Yeah.
Did Lillian work with you
Yes.
at some point?
Lillian worked with me, and I think she retired maybe 4 years ago.
Oh, at
And
least.
she still pops in and visits, which is great.
Yes. Yeah. She was a big help. She probably would know that history.
She would.
Yes. Because we used to even have a hostess, a nun there at the door to welcome people which was unusual. I mean, not unusual, it was nice. I mean, really, really, really
Uh-huh.
nice. Anything else that you'd like to share with the sisters or with your coworkers?
Well, just how grateful I am to have been here so long and been a part of the Adrian Dominican Sisters, and to see all the changes that have occurred. And I look forward to more changes. I know there's some coming, and that's what makes it
Fun.
exciting for me and keeps it fresh and new, that we can plan different things together.
Well,
so.
thank God you're open to that newness,
Mhm.
because you've probably seen that change yourself, or
Oh, yeah.
or even co-workers or sisters making recommendations of what. I mean, you seem to be very open about suggestions and have meetings with the sisters for.
Right. There's
Well,
always suggestions that we have to listen to, because this is the sister's home, and so that's important.
Sister Anastasia, who has been with us a short time, was in the hospital at Bixby for a short time, and someone asked her if the food there was good, and she said yes, but Maria's better.
Oh,
Maria's
that's
food
nice.
is better.
We hear that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We hear many sisters come back and say they're glad to be home and back to our meal service, so that's good to hear.
Is there any sister that stands out in your mind that you've depended on through the years, or have gotten to know?
Well, there's many. You know, Sister Lee Cooney was my boss for many years, and we became friends. Rosemary Abramovich, Karen Rossman, all of those sisters I work closely with in administration. And then Audrey Hall, who I miss. She passed away this year, and she was a friend and mentor, because she was a dietitian, and she really enjoyed talking to me, and I enjoyed talking to her, and she was just very supportive, and
How wonderful.
just a lovely lady.
Yes. Well, thank you for your time,
Well, thank you,
Susan.
Jody.
And in the name of all of our sisters, thank you for not only keeping the quality of the food so superior, but the staff that you have chosen. I can't say enough about their kindness, their respect, and their apparent love of what they do.
Well, thank you.
So, and that's to your credit. So thank you
yes.
so
We have a
much.
Great
Yes.
staff. I'm lucky to have them.
Yes, and we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, God bless you.